Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a versus video on some e.l.f. products. I'm going to be trying out the e.l.f. sponge versus the e.l.f. silicone blender. I already have my primer on because I apply that with my hands. The e.l.f. sponge doesn't say on the directions that it's supposed to be damped. So I don't know, but I mean usually sponges are, so I'm going to go ahead and wet it a little bit because that's how sponges are usually used. You dampen them and then you squeeze out the water, so I'm gonna try that out. The sponge, I did dampen it, but it didn't make a big difference. It does have this angle side, and then on the bottom it's like more of like a velvet finish. It says to use the sponge for an illuminating effect and then to use the white side for a beautiful diffused glow. The silicone sponge also has a velvet side. So it says that the silicone side is for a flawless look, and then on the other side it's for an airbrushed finish. It says for this one to use half of what I normally use because it doesn't suck in any of the product, so we'll see. So foundation I'm gonna use is this one by Wet n Wild, and it has a little spatula for me to apply the foundation, so I'm just gonna apply little dots, and then I'm gonna use this flat side to blend it out. This sponge is kind of hard, like it's not as soft as you would feel like the beauty blender is, and it doesn't really like bounce too much, and it didn't absorb any of the water that I used on it, but it is blending out the foundation pretty good, and it's helping me get into this side of my nose. Yeah, whenever I bounce it on my face, I can like really feel it pushing into my face. Oh, I got too close to my eyebrow right there. So I feel like it did a pretty good job blending my foundation out. I'm gonna try this side just to see what the difference is. It just feels soft, but I don't know how much it's actually doing, but it does feel soft. But it's not soft, it doesn't feel bouncy or anything like that like the beauty blender. It's kind of like hard to squish, and it doesn't really like bounce on my face. Okay, and then for the silicone blender, it says to use half of the product that I normally would. So it says to swipe it first around my face and then to bounce it after that, so that way it can give me a flawless finish. But it's kind of getting everywhere. I mean, it's kind of spreading it out, but like unevenly. So let me start bouncing it so that way I can see if it makes a difference. I'm gonna go over my eye. It's actually not doing as bad as I thought it was. It's kind of harder to get in here, and it's letting me get like really close to my eyebrow. Wow, that actually didn't do a bad job, and it doesn't even have a lot of product on here, like, because it does say, you know, use half, and I did, like I used way less than I did on this side, and I feel like it looks good. Okay, I'm gonna try the soft side. Oh, it does feel soft. That actually didn't do a bad job, like, at all. It did give me the coverage. It used all of my makeup, and then this side is there's no product on here, like nothing. It didn't get stuck to it, but it is, I can feel it like pushing into my skin, and I feel like it changed it a little bit, and I feel like it does help it look different. You see how it looks on this side and how this one looks? This one kind of looks like it's like sitting on top, and this one looks pretty matte, like really soft. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this eye up too. Okay, so since I always blend out my concealers with my beauty blender, I'm gonna do the same thing with these two sponges. So I'm gonna use the erase paste and apply that on my under eye area. So for this side, I'm gonna use this edge, which makes it easy right here to get close to my like lash line. And then over here, okay, it's kind of hard to get in there. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, that's easier. But it did a good job blending it out. Okay, let me use this side too. I don't know, for some reason I really do feel like this does make a difference, like the soft side of each sponge. Now I'm gonna use the silicone blender. Okay, this one's not as easy, it feels kind of big. You see how it's leaving me like a mark right there? So I'll have to go over that. Okay, I'm gonna go over my eye. Yeah, this one's leaving me like marks on the edges of where it's like outlining the silicone sponge. Okay, I'm gonna do it with this side. Okay, that's much better. It does help, like the soft sides do help. The last thing that I'm gonna blend out with them is my highlighter. Okay, so I'm gonna use this side first. Yeah, it's blending it out pretty good. Like really good actually. The only other beauty sponge that I've used is the Real Techniques. So the beauty blender, the original one, and then the Real Techniques. I think maybe once or twice I tried a different brand, but they just didn't work. But that did blend out pretty good. So I'm gonna use this soft side. Okay, this soft side, I kind of pushed it in too hard and it left me like a little circle. So I'm gonna do it softer. There, that's better. Okay, now I'm gonna blend out my nose with it. Okay, so that really covered up my whole nose. Usually with the beauty blender, it'll just like suck some of the product and leave like a little thinner line. This one didn't, because this one doesn't absorb anything. Now I'm gonna use the silicone sponge over here. Yeah, this one's leaving me like a little bit of marks. You see how it's leaving me those lines? And it's not as easy to get into this little edge right there. Let me show you. See, this one's leaving me those lines right there. See, it's not really blending out. And then this one, compared to this one, it is. This one has a little line. There, you see, it's a difference. So now I'm gonna try it with the soft side, which is kind of messy with this because I'm putting my fingers now on the other side. Because you would have to clean that off before using that side. But no product gets picked up on it, which is good. Yeah, that makes it better. Like, it really does help. I don't have the little lines anymore too much. Like, you can still kind of see it, but it's kind of hard to get in there. But it does help with blending out the little lines that it leaves. I'm gonna use it down here and up here. Okay, so it doesn't really blend it out very, very good, but the soft side, I think, does a better job with that part. Okay, so this one still left me like a little bit of marks, like of the edge of the silicone, like of this edge right here. I'm gonna use the sponge part, or the sponge, I mean, to just bounce that. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you see a difference? Do you see one better than the other? So I'm just gonna leave it like this just to talk to you about what I think about these two, so you can be looking at the difference, because honestly I don't really see that much of a difference. I did see it while applying it though. So I mean, both of these have something good and something bad. This one is just kind of hard on your face and you can really feel it, and I did dampen it, but it already feels dry. Like, it didn't get any water into it, and I think it does a good job with blending it out. And I also like that it gets really close to like the little corners and stuff, and I also do like this part because I feel like it does make it look softer. And then this one, I don't like it because it leaves marks, but then at the same time it does a good job blending out the marks with this side. But it's hard to get into the edges, like into the corners, like on the side of my nose and on the inner part of my eye. It's really hard to blend that out. And then it's also kind of hard, I mean, if you don't use it on your eyes, I think you'd be okay with this, but it is kind of hard to get into the side of the nose. There you can see that it did leave some product like on the edge of the silicone, but I mean, it doesn't compare to what like a beauty sponge actually sucks up product. Overall, like the finished look, I feel like it looks nice. Like the soft sides of the sponges actually work. I thought that was just kind of like gimmicky, but it does smooth it out. Now, these aren't like the best sponges ever. They're very, very inexpensive compared to the Beauty Blender. I'm pretty sure this one was $6 and this one was $5, or maybe 4 and 6, or 5 and 6, or 6 and 8, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but they weren't as expensive as like the Beauty Blender. So this is how it looks at the end. What do you guys think? Do you see a difference? Do you like one side better than the other? I honestly can't really tell too much of a difference. It looks good. Like, the application looks good, the foundation coverage was good, and I don't know, I think both sides look pretty blended out and smooth. So that's it for this test. Let me know below what you think. Do you think one side looks better than the other, or which side do you like better? But that is it for today's video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.